All the materials used in this video are used in conjunction with fair use, which is not a copyright violation. We are back with Terrence Howard in Uganda, part 2. He's promising them great things, things that the United States missed out on because we didn't believe him when he said 1 × 1 = 2.
It's now time to put Uganda to its task, It's the smartest and most beautiful people on the planet. It's the pearl of Africa. Let it shine now. So that's what I want to do here. And that's what we're doing here. So by the end of a year's time, even less than that, we will have the facilities. As soon as ICT is able to open their facilities, we will be starting the training process and asking for resumes. We're building a website now to have the Ugandans, and all they need is at least 1 year of university and have an appetite towards engineering. And we'll need people from all walks of life, but it's building something new and the opportunity, and nowhere else in the world can they teach about this because it's patented and they need to get a license. So Uganda will be...
Oh, wait. You're patenting an idea so that nobody else in the world can teach it? Can you do that? Can you be like, well, I mean, you can have like, a textbook or whatever and you can license it out, but you can't, I don't know if you can patent an idea and be like, nobody else is allowed to teach about that. How do you even enforce that? You're like, no one can teach this ever. Like, if you learn it here, you can't teach it to anybody else. What, do you have to sign an NDA or something? Like, what kind of, why does he mix in like copyright stuff with and patenting into like his mathematical theories and stuff? It's like, if he were correct, about his scientific and mathematical theories, other people would pick up on that and they would expand on it, and it would gain traction in the scientific community. But he keeps talking about, oh, I'm going to copyright this, or I'm going to patent this, and no one else can ever learn about this. But I'm going to, you know what, Uganda, like y'all are cool. Like, in fact, you have a lot of warm bodies over here, young men and women that can work in my factories. This is like, he's like a movie villain. He's like a villain trying to enslave the people of Uganda to work in like his lynchpin drone design factories. uh, Allegedly, probably for pennies a day, outsourcing all his labor. And he is a United States citizen, and what's weird about this entire trip to Uganda is he's being represented as some sort of diplomat. He's masquerading as a diplomat. He used to masquerade as a scientist. He got tired of that. Now he's meeting with heads of state. And even right here it says Terrence Howard, American movie star. Just let that sink in.
Where this new technology is able to grow from. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the children and the people. And
he's here for the children too. They can work in the factories as well in Uganda. Let's exploit another country's child labor.
I look forward to one day when the GDP from Uganda is in the trillions, not from things they're exporting as the raw materials of Uganda, but as
like the gold that they found recently. Like, what's that on your chain there exactly? Is that gold? So, got any blood diamonds? Not to joke about that. That's awful. People dying in the mines. I feel like that's what Terrence Howard envisions the future of Uganda to be. Is like people dying in mines. Trying to. I don't know what they're gonna do. Try to extract the hydrogen from the Earth's crust or something. I don't know. It's all patented and copyrighted, so we can't see it. Can't even learn about
the gifts and the fruits of young men and women's minds when they take the cap off of them and give them a technology that no one else has been given, a new education.
Ooh, new education. Some re-education camps. Is that what you're saying? Forget that one times one equals one, like the multiplication table of sin. Because it's a church too, isn't it? Uh, I just let this go.
The innovation is a need for saving the planet
Yeah.
because we don't know how to utilize our resources properly. We have to
Mm.
find a more efficient and more cooperative system.
Does it not seem like this is the start of a comic book movie and he's like the supervillain? Am I the only one getting those vibes?
In how we deal with the world. And lynchpin can do that. All of the technology, when you have the truth, can do that. So my desire to fix the world, to remove the upper atmosphere of those spent fuselages and all of the debris that sat up there
What?
from the very first rocket that
He wants to remove space debris. That's part of his plan.
went up there. That needs to be cleaned out, the plastic out of the oceans. And since it's too
Yeah, the plastic out of the oceans. There was a guy, and a guy who's actually from Uganda that has a small YouTube channel, and he came out mocking Terrence Howard, and he was saying how Terrence Howard keeps talking about cleaning up the oceans, the plastic in the oceans. Uganda is a landlocked country. There's no, what ocean are you speaking of? Like, oh, it's so funny.
hard to ask human beings to do it, I'm developing linchpins to do that. That's going to be throughout the entire world, but we're going to build them here. This is the first place we'll be building them, the opportunity. No,
I'm gonna bring my technology right to Uganda. They didn't want it in the United States. They didn't. Nobody in the entire United States. At MIT, at Berkeley, at Tech, Harvard. They're like nobody jumped onto this theory. I mean, everyone knew that it was nonsense, and it was. I mean, if you read his paper, it reads like it was written by a 7-year-old, and it's not real math. It's not real science, and it's just so amazing that now he's trying to scam an entire country, and they're treating him like royalty, like a visiting dignitary, and he's talking shit about the United States. He is bad mouthing the country that he's a citizen of and coming and saying to another country, I'm going to bring you the wealth. I'm going to bring you the opportunity. I have a new form of flight, a new form of science and math and everything, and I created all this different stuff. And the United States didn't. If nobody in the United States took you seriously at any of those major universities, or, I mean, just think about how many powerhouses of, you know, cutting edge, innovative physics and computer science and math and all these different programs taking place in the United States. International students come to the United States to Princeton, to MIT, to Harvard, to do their research, and nobody in the United States cared or was interested because it was stupid. And so now you're going to Uganda and saying maybe y'all will like it. I mean, how insulting is that even to just Uganda? He's like, y'all were my second choice. I went to the United States first, but y'all are my second choice. And now, screw that country, the country that I'm a citizen of. Ugh, this is so weird.
no, no. What the world needs right now, the innovation gives opportunity. Opportunity gives hope. Hope gives birth to action.
That's like Yoda. He's like Yoda. What was it? Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Well, I need to rewind that. That was like Yoda.
Opportunity. No, no. What the world needs right now, the innovation gives opportunity. Opportunity gives hope. Hope gives birth to action and wonderful things. You don't need to keep taking or asking from anyone when you can make for self. But we've been prevented from having the knowledge of how to make for self. So,
We've been prevented from having the knowledge of how to make for self. So we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the capacity as a species to make things for ourselves. That's ridiculous.
so two sides to it. One side is I get to save the world, the parts of the world that I care about, the
Oh,
oceans,
oh.
the the land, the grass, the sky.
So everything except the humans. The part of the world that I care about, the oceans, the land, the grass. It's so much like a movie villain, isn't it? This is not satire. This is like the original video here is not satire. That's what's so weird about this.
There's a lot of people looking after humanity, but the greatest thing that humanity needs is a greater knowledge and a better way of how we use our environment. If you have a more efficient thing than a square wheel, and you got the idea, oh, let's do a round one, which makes less noise, which creates a smaller footprint. Let's use a round one. No, 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 no. Elon built an entire world off of
Name
present
dropping.
technology, and he's pushed the technology. I hope because we own a new form of flight completely. We have new fundamentals we are using. We're not limited by the tetrahedron or the cube or the octahedron or the decahedron or the icosahedron.
See, he learned the names of the platonic solids now. The things that he hates so much, he's got a big vendetta against the platonic solids. But now he actually learned their names. Icosahedron, which I usually say icosahedron. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've been in more math surroundings than he has. But anyway, he learned the names of the platonic solids so that he can sound smart again. He's really into memorizing. He's great at that. He's really bad at abstract thinking and reasoning.
We're not limited by those straight lines or the rules from there
Uh,
because we have an
yeah.
entirely new set of fundamentals.
Remember, he doesn't believe in straight lines. He got all uppity about people that believe in straight lines when he was giving his Oxford speech.
That prove all of those to be averages. So the technology that we're going to build from here, nobody has seen in thousands of years.
Wait, so they had it thousands of years ago? So it's not even new? So it's old. So you invented a new form of flight, but no one has seen it for thousands of years. Is this like an ancient aliens thing? Is that what this is? You're trying to say that the technology was there, but it was, I don't know, that the aliens built the pyramids. I don't know what he's talking about now, but maybe it's that flower of life stuff. Apparently Da Vinci and Pythagoras and Newton and everyone apparently was trying to unravel this, theoretical shape. It's made of a bunch of circles, and it's not very important. It doesn't really matter to anything. Um, and this lynchpin stuff too. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a cool little design. He made a fun little design for a drone, but everyone that designed it, and this is like, I think this is with 6 different propellers or engines or whatever. I don't know much about drones. Neither does Terrence Howard, by the way. And I think the one that actually could move the way that he wanted it to move for his contest actually had like 12 different motors or rotors or whatever it is. And yeah, it just goes to show that like he's a scam artist. He's trying to scam the entire country of Uganda to give him land or money or cheap labor. Um, I don't know. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued here, but I mean, this is really strange. Just going through the raw footage, the stuff that literally no one has seen. It has 630 views. from Destination Uganda, and it's an actual news program, and it's so awkward at times that it literally seems like satire.
Well, it's not about them using them here. I've never flown a drone or a helicopter or any of those things,
You've never done much of anything, honestly.
but I had an aptitude towards being able to develop something. Now, what Ugandans have here is the mental aptitude to be able to build these things and to sell them to the world. That's the point of it. Half of the things that are made in China are not consumed in China. They're used throughout the rest of the world, but the
Right.
individuals in China have the ability to build those things. Now, the reason I hate that Uganda spends
I was now he's like saying he's trying to sell to this country. He's like, you guys could be the next China. Has that argument ever worked? Does anyone want to be the next China? You could be working in factories, and the government owns everything, and you could live a very poor, modest life. Building iPhones or whatever, semiconductors. I don't know what they build over in those factories, but yes, you're right. Like they import or they export a lot of stuff from China. I don't think that's a great selling point though. It's like y'all could be the next China. I mean, are they an economic powerhouse? Yes, they have a bunch of people that live there. But I don't think the average quality of life is too on par with other developed countries. I might be wrong about that in many regards. And if I am, please educate me. Unlike Terrence Howard, I'm a person that's willing to actually learn new things.
most of its export is its agriculture. That even with the coffee beans should be called Ugandan coffee beans, but they don't send them out like that. They send them out as to be mixed with other coffees from other parts of the world, to where the specialty of it, the taste of it, the brilliance is almost it's mixed in with Colombian beans or Hawaiian
Mm.
beans. It's not the same. It's time to build something fresh, from a place where people want it. And then once the people
I could tell he's running out of things to say. What's kind of weird about these foreign news outlets is they just, how in the United States, kind of like they run like 10-second, 15-second sound bites. This has been going for 11 minutes now. I don't think I've seen a jump cut or anything cut at all. And I can feel he's kind of getting to that point where he's like, I'm not sure what else to say. Let's just please end this interview.
people are empowered from that. They'll be empowered because they'll no longer sit there making $300-400 a month when they're making that per day because of what
Well, where are the figures that can prove that you can, you know, multiply everyone's net income by times 10 or times 30? Sorry, if it's saying what they make in a day, what they make. You're saying you want to build these big factories. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Terry knows either about how economics works and how that would improve the quality of life for the average Ugandan, as opposed to just making him tons and tons of money on his drone project.
what is being produced and sold throughout, this region. Oh, uh, it's we
There was a
start
jump
with
cut.
baby steps, but I really hope that the people of Uganda, and when I say the people, I mean the butterflies of Uganda, I mean the elephants and the grass of Uganda. These are the
When I say the people, I mean the butterflies. When I say the people, I mean the grass. When I say the people, I mean those are not people, Terrence Howard. And if your goal is to benefit the butterflies and the elephants, just say that. But those are not the people of Uganda.
the people that also make up Uganda. And I want everything to work cooperatively together for the greater part of each other. That's what I'm here for. My highlight, I've never met a king before. And yesterday I got to sit and was given a name by the king of Toro, Arali. a body. Um, a, a
So that was the highlight of his trip. He got to meet a king. Again, all he really wants is recognition, acknowledgement, people to be saying his name and naming things after him, when he's really accomplished very little and absolutely nothing in the realm of a new form of flight or some new form of physics or mathematics. He's really accomplished absolutely nothing.
arali means, peaceful with fire, like lightning. And a body, I think if I say it right, it's a loyal love. So that's been the greatest part because it's on the same day as our son's birthday. So now we have a name day that's with our son's birthday, and I got to meet a king and the
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna overshadow. That sucks to be your son. It's gonna completely overshadow his birthday every year. He's gonna be like, "It's my birthday, Dad." No, this was the day that I got a name from a king of a place that I've never heard of until I went to Uganda.
king
Tour.
knew me, knew my work, and the
Yeah, the king knew Empire. He was like, "I've seen you on Empire." Yep.
queen mother knew me, and they gave us so much honor that yeah, that touched me. Yeah, that's been the highlight right now. That's that in itself. Just like, well, you know, no, but what I see in Uganda is the opportunity is strong, the education is strong, and the fact that there's no, you guys have accomplished this drive that's visible in everyone's eyes without having art taught in schools, without having music taught in schools, but everything is so music.
Oh wait, so now is he against teaching art and music in American schools? Because I would argue that art and music and the fine arts in general, like, and giving students a creative outlet, like that actually benefits education in many ways. So I don't know why he's against. He's saying, "Oh, you guys accomplished so much more because you don't teach art and music," and that's I don't know. I don't know if that's what he means, but the tone of it sounds really like he would sort of prefer that we adopt that kind of strategy and abandon teaching art and music, and I think that's a big mistake.
Musical, even the way you drive. You have to be able to anticipate what the next theme is coming or something. You're going to change. Okay, we're changing key. All right, boom, we're out here, and no one's frightened.
Hmm.
Not even the 3 or 4 year old kids. It normally takes a lot of art to
The future factory workers of Terrence Howard, the 3 and 4 year olds.
accomplish that. But this has been a long interview, you guys.
See, he's getting uncomfortable. He's like, this been a long interview.
Well, what's interesting, I too have had things said about me in the internet. I've been besmirched. I've become persona
Oh,
non grata and been forced to make
I
my
wonder why
way
that
through
is.
Hollywood, you know,
Wonder why people make fun of you on the internet. I wonder why. I wouldn't know anything about that.
based off of things that had been said. And when you examine those things, you find that those things weren't true at all. But there's a lot of people that, you know, behaved a particular way with me because they believed what they had read and what they had been told.
No, okay. Let me say this because I've become somewhat of a Terrence Howard biographer as of late, and I base all of my opinions and all of my criticism of him directly on primary sources, meaning things that he has actually said in interviews, videos he's done, papers that he's written, things that he's written and said. So I don't base anything on hearsay or on secondhand or secondary sources or accounts. All of my criticism of Terrence Howard comes directly from things like this. This is a interview of him from Destination Uganda. Hardly anyone has ever seen it, and a lot of his true nature comes out in these, awkward kind of interviews. So, no, Terry, like, no one's cyberbullying you online. We're just criticizing you because your theories make no sense and your writing is absolutely ridiculous. And it seems like you try to make it more difficult than it has to be just to confuse people. And I don't think you actually understand it yourself. And you have no discoveries and nothing to your name as far as math and science are concerned. You spew word salads, and this gets really awkward too when he starts talking to actual heads of state. And I think that's what's so ridiculous about this is who paid for this? Was it Uganda, or did we pay for Terrence Howard to visit this country as a dignitary and represent the United States? Because I don't know how all that works as far as United States citizens going to other countries talking shit about the United States and trying to sell them on hydrogen lynchpin technology, which doesn't really exist. Um, let's try to finish out this one portion.
Um, I I see that there are a lot of places in the world where those same things happen. And what I do know is I was invited by the president, the head of state, to come here so I could bless this place and to see its natural beauty and tell the world about how beautiful it
Wow.
is, and to see that the parks were full with people. But the problem was most of them were white. We need more of the children of Africa to come and
Hmm.
see and partake in what's taking place here, and feel they are home and not just limited to Detroit or whatever part of the world they're in, and come and test out.
Detroit? Detroit? Do you think people in Uganda even know what Detroit is? Why are you just naming a big American city? I don't think they know what Detroit. Most people that live overseas that don't know much United States geography know, maybe California, New York, Florida, maybe Texas. I don't think they really have familiarity with Detroit, Michigan, and they definitely don't have a working knowledge of how Detroit has kind of gone under with after the automakers and everything shut down or moved out or whatever happened over there. So it's weird that you're quoting that to this type of audience.
Come and see what the proof is. Of course. I have a church of truth, love, and consciousness, so everything is
Big church of tax evasion.
based on truth, love, and consciousness, and remaining in that space as best as one can. I have to go.
No, I have to go. He just says it just really bluntly. This interview's over. I gotta go. We've been here for it's been over 15 minutes. Uh, Terrence Howard usually charges people for interviews, so I don't know if he charged for this, but now he's just like, I gotta go. We're done.
Yes, yes, as long as they welcome me here, But what we bring here is opportunity. It's the opportunity that the rest of the world wish that I could bring to them, and I hope it's
Oh yeah, we really wish you could bring this opportunity to the United States, but you have a vendetta against us because we didn't like your stupid proof that 1 × 1 = 2, because it does not equal that, and your proof was dumb.
appreciated. I hope that, you know, when we send out for those resumes, they will be a paid internship. They won't just be applying. It will be a paid internship.
But who is paying for all this? Are you putting your own money into this? Or are you saying that you're visiting Uganda, you have all this new technology, and you want them to invest all their money into it? Because that's what it sounds like.
For 6 months while they're learning in the flight simulator and learning how to build. That's what we're about to do. And we'll keep growing.
Yeah, so that's part two of Terrence Howard in Uganda. Rare footage here, folks. no one's really seen from this television station or YouTube streaming station, Destination Uganda. Um, really interesting stuff. There's a lot to unpack. See you in the next video.